Good morning, everybody. It's Todd here, Ward Street, GetPartDaily.com. Sorry.
Why did you... What's the elephant for?
On Facebook, people were wondering why the elephant was mounting the duck, you see. And
You know, I never really had gotten that image. They just wanted to know why the elephant was part of the Harvest Fall display. The pleasing montage of fall.
evidently it is. So
Who knew? I didn't know elephants were...
The cool thing is this thing lines up and does absolutely nothing.
Our son Zachy loves them because he'll wind them all up and everyone sits and waits for it to do something. He's like, sucker.
Nothing. Hey, he leaves the room.
Good morning, April. Thank you. We think that the elephant is cute, too.
I want to see the mountain morning cam because you know what I'm looking for.
It's brought to you by UtahCreditApproval.com.
Oh, crap.
Your little star is gone.
My star is gone.
It's so black and grim.
It's
Even
so
your star
dark.
is gone. That's so sad.
Oh.
Remember in summer when it was actually
Somebody's
light?
hiding it under a bushel.
You know, it's going to get worse from here. It eventually goes to the point where if you're one of those people who does 9 to 5, then you get up and you go to work in the dark and you come home in the dark and you basically feel like a slug, like a sad subterranean
I feel that
creature.
way now.
Well, that's just because we are. It's different for us.
Okay,
interesting stuff today. Number one, poor Gordon Hayward speaks. The guy
boy.
with the ankle that's sideways.
We caught a bunch of criminals too.
That was nice.
And
Why
it's-
you cannot sell your house or anything online.
Yes, and that's enough.
That was smooth, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, and all the cool weekend stuff, including tickets to give away because Daisy's in traffic
That's right.
like that.
You guys are doing that. My what?
Gordon Hayward.
Oh.
I look at it, my heart physically hurts. And his dad was so sweet. He was on Twitter last night. He goes, my son's undergoing surgery. If you could please send some good thoughts. And it was just like, you could just see everyone just sort of helplessly pushing the love button like, dude, we're really sorry.
I heard, first of all, LeBron actually walked out with him off the court.
Which I thought was very
Pretty
gracious.
much was right there with him.
Like kept going, sorry, your ankle's sideways. Sorry, it's sideways. It's sideways. I'm really sorry it's sideways.
I saw people on Facebook who were like, well, there's karma.
What?
For him leaving the Jazz and going to the Celtics.
There is no room for schadenfreude here, people. This is a terrible thing.
And I was just, that hurt.
Oh, look at that face, too. Like, I've got a lot of pain medication.
Who would wish that an athlete would get hurt?
And
Who would wish that?
And yes, we do miss Gordon Hayward, and yes, we had a lot of playoff hopes with him, but the point is he's a very nice person. But even if it were a terrible person, why would you think that was good?
We let Karl Malone go, didn't we?
Yes, we didn't want to, but we said go, and we love you.
And he was proven.
It's pretty sad, though. Gordon, I guess, tweeted, it's really physically hurting me that I can't be there. I'm like, there's other things physically hurting you, because I want nothing more than just to be with my teammates and walk out on that floor tonight.
I know. Oh.
And I'm sure, because think about that. Since he made the decision, you know, he has practiced every day and done all the visualization. And his heart is swelled with the joy that he will lead this team to victory. And 6 minutes.
That's actually his second tweet. His first tweet was,
Yeah, I actually believe that. Oh.
because somebody touched his ankle. Can't even
he's
imagine
a nice.
how much
He's a
that hurt.
truly nice guy.
He really
and
is.
I have every hope that he'll get better because they were talking to people who'd had that kind of fracture, you know, that kind of injury,
yeah, I
especially
heard this.
ligaments and stuff. And they were talking about how long it had taken them to heal. And this one guy was like lying in the road and couldn't even drag himself off the road after he'd had the injury. And
Right.
like,
His wife, he called his wife, and his wife almost ran him over with a car.
and they're all like saying, "Worst pain I ever felt, man. Worst pain."
But it depends on what kind of break. It depends if it was clean. It depends if it's a fracture. Then the whole dislocation and the ligaments going to be strong enough to hold the joint back together. And so it's really an individual thing.
So did they have any report yet from the team doctor about how bad the injury was?
No, they're just kind of, they're getting
We know
all
they're
the
doing
experts.
surgery, but
Yeah. So you don't know if they're doing. There could be a series of surgeries. It could be, whatever.
if there's tendons and ligaments involved, there's a lot of surgery.
And a lot of people were saying, making judgment calls without having any of the facts. But is he coming back this season? That's the big question. If he does, what's his ability level? He's good enough to make up for some because he is so talented.
Yeah, but dude, that's
but
like...
without having a leg that works 100%. And that could be the rest of his life. So none of the karma crap, okay? Yeah. That's not, because you know what? That puts karma on you, doesn't it?
Can I tell you, you look very handsome today. You're all clean shaven and you've gotten your hair cut and you just look very upright and
I think
attractive. And
I shaved in the shower where I have no mirror, and I think when I get out, I'll just go to the mirror and just
touch up,
clean up anything. But I have a soul patch over here.
It's kind of an askew soul patch because it's not really centered.
I missed. I'm here, not here. And I got a haircut. My hair's too short.
Some people are never happy. I think you look very attractive, and you realize you just dismantled everything I said to you. Is that the way you accept a compliment? Do you want our children to learn from you that this is how you accept a compliment, by going, oh God, no, I'm hideous? Is that what you're looking for here? Is that the kind of parenting
my hair
display you
this
want?
is, I like to call this the George Clooney haircut, you know, the really tight one, except I'm not handsome and I don't have any money.
Well, the second is true, the first is not.
Whatever.
At least you're good looking. I married you because you're pretty, let's be honest. I want conversation, I can call a girlfriend.
Someone needs glasses.
I married you because you're hot.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, we should move on to
a bunch of stories.
About women behaving badly, and it makes me feel really awful. It makes me feel awful for being estrogen-based.
Cheerleaders.
Oh, well, it gets worse. Now, apparently, as we follow along with this delightful story of the girls who had used the Instagram app, from Weber High School, the three of them were cheerleaders, where they utilized a phrase that, when played backwards with the app, would say an obscenity and then a racial epithet. Repeatedly while laughing themselves silly. This is apparently taken on a break about a year ago. It had been posted online for their friends. And,
I didn't know it happened a year ago.
Yeah, and isn't this funny? I'm even more disturbed by the fact that it took a year for someone to present this as an issue.
I don't think we knew where it was, or
Well, it had been through all of their little friends' things, and it apparently had been sent to one of the football players at Weber High School. He's the one who published it publicly, and I had actually tweeted him saying, "Hey, can we air this? And thank you for your courage and doing the right thing here." And I think he got like 300 likes from my comment, and I'm glad that people reinforced to him this was the right thing to do, because he's getting death threats now. He's an African American football player for their team. One of the mothers attacked him and threatened him on social media, which to me seems unwise.
Now we know where it came from, don't we?
Precisely. I mean, precisely. So he said, and what he had said is, I thought people were better than this, especially my so-called friends. And now all of their little people who apparently think it's okay to do things like that have been attacking him and threatening him and saying, I don't care what
I hope he realizes that there's more nice people than there are of them.
And, Ty's mom, who I think showed remarkable restraint, simply said, "We do not believe that there should be any blame to be directed towards Ty, as he was only responding to a very hurtful and offensive video." I would have been shrieking more about, "You terrible blah, blah, blahs," and "How dare you blah, blah, blah" to my son, blah, blah. But she was calm and rational, and like I would have been. So, Ty's mom, I'm really sorry that you're going through this with your son.
Well, both of us.
And if you don't think this was the right thing for him to bring this to light so that these girls could learn how to be a human being, then there's probably nothing I can say that's going to change your mind.
You know what, with the phrase that's going around now, and it has to do with a lot of different things, is to do nothing is complicity. You're supporting that.
It's implied. It's implied approval if you don't stand up and say, "That sucks. Why would you do a thing like that?"
Whether somebody's going after someone or they're telling jokes with that are racially motivated.
And you know what? There's a couple of times in the past where someone has said a racist joke in a group that I was in or something, and I should have pointed out and said, "Why would you say a thing like that?"
Yeah.
A couple of times in my life I have, but there've been a couple of times where I went, we're gonna move on. But no, I should have said, "Why would you say something like that?"
We have a guy, and let's not do names at all, and he fixes stuff, and we've known him for about 20 years, and he's it looks like Popeye. He does. He's got the arms, and he's just a character, and he's been in the service, and he's really rough-edged and stuff. And one day, he let the N-word fly in my house. And I pulled him aside, and he's older than I am. And I went, we're not going to do that anymore. We're not going to do that.
You said it in front of our sons.
In my house. We're not doing that anymore. And you know what? He didn't. And I think over 20 years, I had an effect on him.
You would like to think so.
I would, because he is a truly a nice man. But he was conditioned and grew up in an environment that at some point that was okay. He was hanging out with the wrong people. And so I shamed him into being a nice one.
Whatever it takes, and I think his daughter was happy about it too. We talked about it at the pool the other day.
He kind of came around.
You know, I guess that was the thing that we had neighbors who were very similar to this too. And Todd and I, and we know it's awful and crass. We'd say, you know, the people who think these kind of words and phrases and things are acceptable are going to die out. They're of that generation where it was okay to be this person.
It gave us some comfort to think that that's going to happen.
And then I think it was so disheartening for us to see these 16-year-old girls doing the same ugliness.
There were guys carrying tiki torches.
Because you're thinking, you know, oh yeah, those white college boys in Charlottesville. Right. And I guess we all just hoped that that's the kind of thinking that was so far gone now that it would die with that generation. So it's disheartening to see it reborn now. And you know what? I'm sure those girls are like our friend, where they have many delightful qualities, and very charming. Learn. And maybe they can learn from this too.
This is not a life sentence.
So that's what we'll all hope for, is that maybe they will learn from this and not be that person anymore. So, in any case, but you know what?
That was a really nice message.
Lay off Ty, because he's a good guy, and he had courage of his convictions, and he stood up for himself. So why don't you lay off and give him love, okay?
All right, so on to another story about bad woman.
I know, and then we'll do happy things, because that's like yesterday where we just had we started with all this god-awful stuff, and then we were like, we're going to bring it up now. It's going to be happier.
We're so sorry about yesterday. Yesterday it was just a train accident.
Oh, no, but it was so outrageous you had to talk about it. All of us were talking about it on Facebook together. We were all freaking out. And
all right, so...
and Marianne said this. A guy at my work would come to my desk and tell me jokes. This is on Facebook if you're joining us. After about a week I was new there, I told him, go away and don't talk to me ever. Racial jokes are against my culture. He later thought I was Italian. And so he thought that's why she was offended. And it's like, no.
I'm a human being.
Yeah, so I love you, Marianne.
All right,
sorry.
So we did the story yesterday about the woman who was in a convenience store. We want to show the video. Here she is. Now, if you look at the floor where her feet are, that person is having a seizure. Now, that's his arm.
This is exceptionally upsetting to us because our twins have seizures.
And she went down and took his wallet. Now, she's standing over the man. And she's going through the wallet.
Casually, calmly, while he's still having a medical emergency.
Now, what we found out was she took a credit card and his license, and then she puts the wallet back on his person.
Oh, and that's so sweet.
Then she's putting it back because she cares.
She's got what she's got needs now, and she walks off.
Oh, there she is. Why do we have a picture of her?
This is Alexandra Justine Dusnip. She was arrested and booked into Salt Lake County Jail on suspicion of theft and unlawful possession of a credit card. Now, here's the interesting thing. After that video was released, the outrage was so great that multiple people came forward with tips, including her mother.
Whoa.
Can you imagine having to see that video and going, oh my God,
no, wait,
that's my daughter.
There is an explanation behind this.
So she was arrested, and she said she didn't remember standing over this man suffering a medical emergency, and she didn't remember taking his wallet and casually going through it and stealing things, and she didn't remember making that online purchase immediately afterwards. She didn't remember any of that.
Why?
Tell them.
She said she had taken Xanax.
So she wasn't responsible for her actions.
Oh, nice effect, guys, putting the bars over. Yeah. Nicely done.
Exactly.
Very good.
Now, based on a couple of anxiety attacks I've had, I have taken a Xanax before once or twice, and never once have I been urged to steal someone's wallet and stand over them with complete heartlessness while suffering a medical emergency and then using their card.
Although
that has never once entered my mind under the influence of that medication.
No, but once we did find a brand new car in the driveway.
That was you, honey, not me.
Okay, but I didn't remember it.
So it's just
okay. So
anyway, on the bright side,
that's another bad woman taken down.
And the nice thing about this is that good people were so upset by it, including her mother, that they called in the tips, and she was taken pretty darn quickly. So good. So good. All right.
There's more nice people than there are
deep cleansing breath. Now let's move on. We're going to go into that happy mode now. We're all going to tip over the world into our happy state.
So the show's over then.
Traditionally, that's when things do start improving
this
morale-wise.
This is true.
But, yeah.
We're going to just step aside and let your life go on. There's a study at BYU. And I guess I don't understand it, but they're talking about you and your love for something. Aaron, here you go. Here's your
Yes.
highlighter.
I love my highlighter.
Okay, that's the question. And the study, what they did is they only did it with 40 people, so it's like, and they gave them a mug. Take the mug instead. Take the mug instead. And they made them get it. I don't know. How do you get someone to attach themselves to a mug?
You fill it with
Beautiful
Rice
things.
Krispie treats or like Captain Crunch cereal with the big berries in it.
All right.
And then you become much more attached.
This is really...
Or candy corn. A mug full of candy corn would make you feel very affectionate.
Okay. Then they asked the participants is if they were going to sell it, how much would you sell it for? No candy corns in it. And and this is the part I don't understand. The people who really liked it asked for a higher price.
Well, no,
That's college?
it seems kind of like that's an obvious study, though, because anything you're more attached to, you place more value on, which is also one of the reasons, one of the findings was, this is why people who really loved, like, for instance, their houses.
That's got to be that is a
would
mess.
always demand a higher price.
Right.
And it was much more difficult for them to sell. So the more attached you were to an item, particularly a larger thing like your home or whatever, or a
Right.
car, the higher price you demanded and the less willingness to, like, negotiate and deal with someone, which I'm sure is the thing that makes realtors want to just hit their head against a wall repeatedly. But it's kind of a obvious.
I learned. I've sold
right?
over the last 2 years. I've sold a lot of stuff, and a lot of stuff that like a chainsaw, and things that mattered,
I'll never forgive you for selling our chainsaw. But you did buy me a leaf blower, so that's okay. I only got to use the chainsaw twice, and he took it away from me.
Yeah, I've seen you use the leaf blower. To straighten this out, Erin suddenly took over mowing the lawn, and then she found my leaf blower, and I haven't been able to touch it since. It just recently got stolen, and so I went down and I got her a new one. Anyway, so
it was like 1,000 bouquets of long stem.
So I went online.
Because there is a sense of unreasoning power with a leaf blower.
I went online.
That you can't begin to imagine. I mean, and everything goes away, all the pine needles, and even the dirt polishes down, so all the gunk is out of it. And then you all blow it into the street and let someone else deal with it. Okay, you can go on. I'm sorry.
So basically, when you're selling something, I would go online and find out what the market was and what other people are selling it for and how long it had been on the classified ads, and then I would price it. And sometimes it did hurt. Sometimes it was like, oh, geez, I thought it was worth $300. It's really only worth like $200. And it was just like, okay. But then it got to the point where I could do that.
You had separated yourself emotionally.
Plus, I sold it faster. And when we sold our house, you and I had a couple good discussions about that and our attachment to the house. So it does make sense. But of course it would make sense. Go to college to learn this.
I guess the only logic that you can come out of this is like if you really do want to sell it, you're going to have to separate yourself emotionally.
You're going to have to listen to the experts who go out and know this. They know the market. They know the comparables for your house.
Our realtor, Liz Slager, is like one of those people who is beautiful and warm and wonderful in every way. Liz Slager, by the way, if you want her, Liz Slager.
But
she's amazing. But she also has a very calm, sort of indomitable, this is what it's worth,
Right.
and this is what you'll ask.
Now stop crying.
No, you're not going to argue with me again. You're like, it's
Okay.
good, Liz. And she gets it done, and she's wonderful. But it was funny because she is there's no discussion.
And
This
it's
is
your
what
house.
It's worth.
And it's your house. It's a big deal. So, anyway, so that's why we have more stuff coming up. We're gonna we got to tell you.
Tell me something good is
got a
really nice
really good
today.
one.
So that's going to go
Yeah.
back into Happy Land again. First up, we go to Daisy in the Gephardt Daily Newsroom. She is brought to you, of course, by Utah Credit Approval at utahcreditapproval.com. Bad things happen to good people, but you can get your credit back on track and a vehicle that you need by simply calling 801-921-9819. Also by Columbus Travel, having an epic sale. Now, this is only to the 21st, so you don't have a lot of time. Incredible cruise sale. Give them a call. They can go through some amazing options with you, and they can get you airfare and a hotel for less than the price of airfare. These are really good guys. ColumbusVacations.com. Sign up for that. Black Diamond Experts. Black Diamond Experts in electric, plumbing, heating, and air. They've got a brand new place now up in Ogden, so they're even closer to you up in Weber County. Congratulations. You can get them at blackdiamondexpert.com. Daisy, my dear, what's going on today?
Thanks, Todd and Erin. Hello, everyone. Here's what's making headlines Thursday, October 19th on GephartDaily.com. A 38-year-old man was critically injured in a late-night crash on Sandy Parkway near 9120 South, 420 West. Sandy Police Sergeant Jason Nielsen told Gebhardt Daily the accident happened around 10:30 p.m. when the driver of a northbound Mazda lost control and slammed into a fence and a series of light poles before smashing his car into a tree. The car spun back into the roadway, ejecting one of the occupants, who landed 50 feet away in a nearby parking lot after he himself collided with a utility pole. The injured man was rushed to a nearby hospital in extremely critical condition, but his condition has since been upgraded and he is expected to survive. Another man who was inside the vehicle ran from the accident site and has yet to be found, although police think they know who he is. Investigators say they are not ruling out drugs or alcohol were a factor in the crash. A woman who was caught on camera rifling through the wallet of a man suffering a seizure has turned herself into police. 28-year-old Alexander Justine Dusnap was booked into the Salt Lake County Jail on investigation of theft and unlawful possession of a credit card, both of which are felonies. Unified Police investigators released video of the incident and received a number of tips, including one from the woman's parents. Dusnap told officers she did not recall what happened at the 7-Eleven, located at 6852 South State Street, because she was under the influence of Xanax, but says she takes full responsibility. And it's official. Salt Lake County Mayor Ben McAdams is running for Utah's 4th congressional district seat. McAdams, a Democrat, released a statement Wednesday saying he will attempt to win the office currently held by two-term Republican Mia Love. McAdams said he'll bring a bipartisan approach to problem solving in Washington with the goal of ending congressional gridlock. And now let's take a look at your Wasatch Front weather, brought to you today by our friends at Burrito Technologies, where we'll be blessed again with high temperatures in the mid-70s under mostly sunny skies. We'll cool down a bit heading into the weekend with increased chance of showers, and overnight lows will be in the 30s and 40s. That's it for now. For more local headlines 24/7, go to GephartDaily.com. And for now, Todd and Erin, back to you.
We're back.
All right, so I'll talk about Black Diamond first.
First Black Diamond, that is electric, plumbing, heating, and air. That's why they call themselves the experts, because if there's something going wrong in your house, because they're experts in electric, plumbing, heating, and air, they can pretty much fix anything unless you put your head through the drywall. That's your own fault. And they also have a new place up in Ogden now, which makes it even easier to call these guys. But the thing I like about them is they're licensed and they're bonded and they're insured. So when they come into your house, you're okay. You're comfortable with that. And they do ridiculously early hours, because I've seen their trucks up and running around at 7 o'clock in the morning. And they have 24-hour emergency service, because there's never a good time to find raw sewage in your basement. Never. Really, never.
What
never.
about... No,
there really isn't. And they've told me about calls on Christmas, and I'm like, that's a way to celebrate. And they still do it. So if you want to reach them, just go to blackdiamondexpert.com. You'll be glad you find an expert, because they are blackdiamondexpert.com.
Yeah, we were talking about this yesterday. Before we do, tell me something good. I was watching something, and it's on Facebook, and Mike Rowe from Dirtiest Jobs, right?
Oh, I love Dirty Jobs.
And I love Mike Rowe.
I think we still have all those saved in our DVR, as a matter of fact.
He's. You want to know the story behind it?
Yes.
Okay. So to become an actor, he didn't have a SAG card, and so they said, well, no, you need training to get SAG, so he could act and stuff. And so he did some research, and so he took a course to qualify, and he took opera, and he had to sing as his final. He sang an aria, and got his SAG card, and that's how he started.
No way.
He also cut like 5 different pilots, and the one they picked was The Dirtiest Jobs.
Can you imagine?
He was
really,
so,
that's the one you want, not the one where I'm living in luxury.
Right, he was really depressed by that. Anyway,
the one where I live on a sailboat in exotic locales.
So he's got an interesting deal. Right now, he is doing a show. It's called Payback, and it's only on Facebook.
It's going to be the new. It's going to be the new Hulu or the new Netflix or.
Adam Sandler is making millions of dollars, even though he's making horrible films.
Unfeasible amounts of money on Netflix.
Netflix. But I thought the Mike Rowe thing, I was just like, oh, I thought it was just a tease for I had to go to a channel, the Discovery Channel or something. No, the entire thing is on Facebook now.
It's the largest social medium in the entire world.
It's amazing. And that's the first time I think I've seen that. Anyway.
It sounds like a really cool show. So he basically, doesn't he swoop in and like help people who are doing good things?
Yesterday, he found a teacher, and she had rented a little space in a warehouse. And she was the fact that she spent so much of her own money on paper and pencils and
like
pens,
all teachers do.
and they cut that funding even more. And she was just like, where do they get this? And so basically she set up a place where teachers, if they had any extra, maybe from the higher schools, the higher income schools, they would bring them down and leave them, and the teachers who were struggling could come in and get those things and leave. And so he basically walked in, spent $20,000, brought a designer and put up all the shelvings and
Made
stuff.
it easy and comfortable.
$20,000 worth of pens and papers and envelopes and all this stuff. And then he pays them back. And it's like a beautiful show.
Didn't he put in like a swamp cooler or something because it was like 300 degrees in there or something? And then he paid like the rent for a year.
Yeah, and he helped a guy who runs a ranch, and he helps veterans who have post-traumatic syndrome. And it's a great show.
That's gorgeous.
But it's like, man, it's just on Facebook.
It is. I'm going to have to look for that. I didn't get a chance to see it yesterday, but I think that's
All
wonderful.
right, that was something good. Now tell me something other.
Now, this is something good,
else.
too. And this is actually interesting because we've got John in today, and this is the kind of thing I could see him doing. Carl Wisness. He's a plumber who had built up his own business. Uh-huh. He was doing very, very well, and he was trying to think of like, what could he do that would be like good? Because he had finally built up to like multiple trucks and a really big business.
Right.
And he was kind of known as Willie the Plumber, which has no relation to the name Carl, so I'm not sure, but let's go with it. And when he was taking a look around, this is Salem, Utah, and then he found out that the kids that were having the hardest time in a lot of the local schools, and he talked to some of the teachers, were the kids whose parents were incarcerated. Now, to me, that's a given. Like, maybe they live with their grandparents now, or their foster kids.
Or they only have a mom, or they only have a dad.
Yeah, because the parent is behind bars.
Right.
So he started doing scholarships for them.
For who now?
This is the thing that's the coolest.
Kids.
For these kids.
Okay.
So what he does is he picks 17 recipients every year, and he goes through like grades. He goes through like maybe worst to first,
Right.
like I wasn't doing great, but now I am, or kids that couldn't qualify for other scholarships because maybe they had to really struggle to catch up.
Right.
And he gives them the college scholarships. And he said it's not even the fact of giving them the scholarship and even being happy knowing that they're going to college. He said what changes for them is their self-esteem.
Right.
And he said it literally, you can see it like on a cellular level becoming something else. One of the kids whose parents both went to jail when she was 5 years old said, you get really down on yourself. People judge you and they think you're going to be just like them.
Right.
You feel like you can't do anything. And then all of a sudden you have this random stranger who believes in you and knows that you're not who your parents are.
Interesting.
So,
Interesting.
See, Salem, Utah. Thank you, Willie, the plumber, whose name is Carl. Wonderful.
There's another trend too. Speaking of education and things, is the fact that tech schools used to be like, oh, you're going to a tech school. Oh, you're going to engine repair. Huh?
Yeah, now you're the ones making the money.
And now it's become this thing where it's like everybody's doing 4 years of college, going into debt by $80,000, and not being able to get a job in their applied field. Because by the time they graduate, it doesn't exist anymore.
Isn't that amazing?
So people are starting to say, well, a 2-year school, a tech thing, you can go work right away, and then build up to what you're going to do, because now income sources don't come from one place. You're not going to have the same job like your grandparents did for 40 years. You get a watch, you're out.
I think they say on the average, millennials will change jobs, or not just jobs, but careers 6 times before they're 35.
To keep up with. 35?
6 times.
That doesn't even seem possible. Anyway, that's a nice story.
I thought so. All right, Christopher's. This is another nice thing. Our thank you to you from Christopher's Prime Steakhouse. We picked the best steakhouse in the valley, and we went, would you give us these dinners? And they went,
They said
yeah,
yes.
okay. So Melissa is wonderful, and she said, of course, why don't you bring in 4 people a week, and we'll take good care of them, and we'll wine them and dine them and have them have a wonderful time. And we went, that would be perfect because they have to endure listening to us. And she went, I know, I've heard the show. But in any case, so this is what we do. If you are listening or watching right now on Facebook, just make a comment. That could be on Get Part Daily, Get Part Approved, or it could be on the Todd and Aaron Facebook page. Just drop a comment saying I like Christopher's or anything, or hey or hi, or I don't care. And you're qualified. Then tomorrow we're going to pick a winner.
All right, coming up, you and Daisy.
I know, we have the best weekend planned, and there's all kinds of giveaways too.
I was looking at the list don't get to talk about, and take some notes on this one.
I know, I'm excited.
All right, so we'll be back. I'll be gone. She'll be here. It'll be great.
The Todd and Aaron Morning Stream is brought to you by Fink & McGregor. Did you know that you can qualify for a mortgage with a credit score as low as 600? Just go to fink-mcgregor.com for more information. It's mortgages made simple. Also by The Vein Clinic. There's several excellent varicose vein removal procedures, but you need to find the right one for you. You can do that by scheduling an appointment at theveinclinic.com. And also by Black Diamond Heating, Electric, Plumbing, and Air. Black Diamond Experts. They also have a brand new office open in Ogden. You'll be glad you called an expert. blackdiamondexpert.com.
Utah Credit Approval is now Utah's Better Business Bureau #1 rated subprime company. That's why they approve more people than anyone, with better vehicles and lower interest rates, even 0 down payment. Just listen to one of their satisfied customers.
We recently went through a bankruptcy process looking to purchase new vehicles. We found Utah Credit Approval, went there, they treated us amazingly. If you don't want to go to another dealership and deal with all the BS in the sales manager office, go to these guys. You will not be sorry.
Utah Credit Approval, Get Part Approved, and Utah's Better Business Bureau #1 rated subprime company. Apply today and drive away. It takes 5 minutes or less to get approved. Plus, they'll throw in a $500 cash card with your new car. Visit utahcreditapproval.com or call 801-921-9819. That's 801-921-9819. Go to utahcreditapproval.com now.
You are the dark mistress of getting free tickets to stuff. Is there anyone who can say no to you?
Nope.
It's that British accent, isn't it? Hello, I'm Daisy.
Yeah, and that
Wait,
even
that was a
comes
little
across in,
Cockney.
yeah. Hello, governor, will you give me free tickets? I'm a chimney sweep.
I'm sorry, that was not probably the best imitation of you.
That's what I do. I call them and I'm like, I'm just a poor chimney sweep and I've never been to the theatre before, so will you give me tickets? That accent's weird. That doesn't sound Cockney. It sounds sort of, even to my own ears, that sounds
Is that
bad.
closer to Manchester? But we're moving up north now, right?
Yeah, Manchester. That's all I can say.
Well, it's funny though, because for you, I know, and I've talked to other British friends who are like, oh my God, he's got such a northern accent. And I'm like, what?
Oh,
Because-
northern like that.
Yeah, because the only difference we can possibly tell is when there's a really obvious governor, like, you're in the cast of Oliver, or you're talking like you do.
Or Irish.
But I know for you guys, it's like,
Oh, accents change with it. Like you go 10 miles away and it's like a different accent. It's crazy. It's
and they're
fun.
like, they're Bath, you can tell.
You know what freaks me out though now, because I've been over here for a while, is that sometimes like I'll hear an accent and I can't immediately place it. My brain like struggles and I'm like, oh my gosh, what accent is that? Because I've been here long enough that
I've lost my British
you know,
brain.
I'm like, oh, I don't know if that's Liverpool or like Newcastle, it makes me sad. But
Yeah, I worked in Virginia for a long time, and obviously in media, you have to remain as accentless as possible. And Utah, ironically, is pretty good for that. But I said, I'm not going to pick anything up here. Nothing, no y'alls, no fixin' twos, nothing. I came home and I said, hey, Mama. And she went, why did you just come in? I'm like, oh my God.
oh my god.
And there were like 8 things that I had to like forcibly cut back out of my vocabulary because
Really?
the accent came with them. Like, y'all fixin' to? Are you fixin' to? And it's like, or you drop L's like, hold on. It was not good.
What's that? How?
You drop L's, you go, hold on.
Oh, hold on.
Instead of hold on, it's hold on.
But I mean, I think half the time it's just like self-preservation, because if I had real trouble here, like when I first moved here, that I would ask for water. I once went into a frozen yogurt shop in the Gateway, and it was so funny because there was like a little display of like bottles and a bottle of water right there. So I said,
Sorry.
can I have a bottle of water, please? And this was like a 5-minute conversation of her just going, what? And me going, bottle of water, what? And I was like, this is painful. And at the end, she's like, I'm sorry, we don't have that.
Because she's just panicking right now.
Right, because what's this right here? You know, and now, so now I'll say water, just so, you know.
Water.
Well,
And then they feel more
Water.
comfortable, like she's one of us.
at least they understand.
With her fancy voice and her elegant vowels.
water.
You would think, yeah, essentially when you're all speaking the same language, it shouldn't be that difficult. But
and
you would be surprised.
It kind of is, isn't it?
You would be surprised. I know when I talk to Scottish relatives, I'm just sweating the whole time. It's just like, I have no idea what you're telling me
Oh,
right
and
now.
Scotland can be so thick that even like if you're English, like a Scottish,
good, I feel better.
Let's go. You're like,
I had one of my exceptionally loud uncles tell me a joke, and he was just almost wetting himself. He was laughing so hard, and I'm like, is this the part where I laugh? Because I have no idea what you just told me.
but were you just laughing at him because it was so funny
Yeah.
that you couldn't understand?
It was,
like,
anxiety
anything?
producing. Yeah, it was good. Okay, well, we should probably move on then. Okay, first of all, amazing stuff coming up this weekend. And that's the nice thing about Halloween. There's so many kid things. But Garden After Dark is like our tradition. We've done it, I think, every year since the boys were born because they do different things. But this year, it's Adventures in Wonderland. And it's so much fun. Oh, and you go through and they have all these amazing little stations all throughout the garden and they're lit beautifully and it's very mysterious and interesting and you have these people telling you stories and all kinds of
Oh my
it's really
gosh.
fascinating.
Where is this?
Redview Gardens, and a lot of people don't know about
Oh,
it.
it's Red Butte?
Yeah, and
I've
it's such
never
a jewel.
heard of it.
Oh, it's such a jewel. It's up by the University of Utah campus if you've never been there. Ridiculously low annual membership. We've had one every year forever, but it is incredible. The children's garden and then the ponds and they've got the new eco garden, and when they do events like this, it just makes it extra cool. And at night, you know, everything's like more
Oh,
So
that
it's a lot of
sounds
fun.
amazing. Would Jay and I look like absolute fools if we went
No,
through
you would love
together?
it. No, you
but
would
do you have to
totally
have a
love it.
child?
no,
Okay.
no. There's many cool hipster couples like you.
That sounds so cool.
It really
I don't
is
know
fun.
why I've never heard of that.
It really is cool, and it's not even necessarily scary so much as just sort of like dreamy and surreal.
yeah. Oh, I
it's
bet
cool.
Zoe loves it.
It really is so
doesn't
fun.
she?
So it's this weekend and then it's next weekend. So you probably do want to get tickets in advance
Right.
because it's wonderful.
That
All
sounds
right.
amazing.
Now, speaking of tickets,
Tickets.
the Dark Mistress of Freebies
Yes.
has found them all.
I had such fun yesterday. So I went to the Leonardo because they have the exhibition Spooky Science.
My
which
boys loved this.
Yeah, so it's an annual exhibit. And then right now, from today until the 22nd, is a kind of family festival called Spooktacular.
I like that.
So I went yesterday. You can see me with a big cobweb behind me.
Oh,
going,
look how cute you are.
"Ooh." And there's tons of stuff. There's mask making, science activities, crystal wand making, me in a
fun.
coffin,
Always look how
as you
cute
can
you are.
see. And my mom and my sis contributed to this exhibition because they both work at the Leo. And then the totally cool thing, I was just going to say,
the
there's
scream.
paintings that you can put your face.
You know that you look surprisingly at home in that picture.
I know.
I gotta be honest with you. That painting seems really natural for you.
Those skinny little hands.
That is so funny.
And then another facet of this is that they've also got a Leo After Dark called All Hallows Eve, and this is the 20th.
Now this
Which
is when
is
all
tomorrow.
the fun things come out.
So this is grown-ups, food, drink, activities, without kids. And we have the
Those
Leo.
are nice nights.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, those are good nights. Go on.
The Leo very kindly got in touch with us and is giving us 2 4-packs of tickets.
Get out!
So that's super cool. So,
Now, is this for the children's section or is this for the Leo After Dark?
this is for Spooktacular,
Okay.
the children's section. So it's included in the price of admission, but this will give you admission
Oh, how fun.
to that. And Spooktacular, like I said, is today through the 22nd. So I'm all off with my dates.
This
but
weekend?
The 22nd would be
Sunday. Okay.
So if you fancy going to that, just like, comment, share on Facebook. And because we have other tickets we're giving away too, just specify which tickets you actually want, because we don't want to give you tickets to a burlesque show if you want to go to the Leonardo.
It's so just say Leo. Oh yes, exactly. April and Juanita. It's the Leo. I'll put you guys under that context. But
yes.
Now
Yeah.
talk about the burlesque, because Todd and I have been
So
dying to go.
exciting.
I took a show. I took a class. About 3 months ago, and all I learned is I have zero coordination in high heels, because I had to hold on to the wall the whole time I was trying to shimmy like the girls in the burlesque class. It is like the coolest art form to me now. It's so interesting, and I didn't even know we had that big of a
And
an opportunity.
This troupe, the Voodoo Darlings, they are friends of mine. Back in the day, I emceed a few shows for them, which was so fun. But Voodoo Darlings have a show on the 20th, which is tomorrow.
Friday night.
Ghouls, 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 Ghost Town. It's going to be amazing. One night only in Eldorado. Look at that. And so the saloon doors open at 9, shows at 10, and the location is a secret. It's downtown, but they're not saying yet where it is. And so
this is like the cool parties people used to go to, like where you had to like have the in word so that you would know when you were supposed to show up. I love this.
And there's as well as the show, there's Wild West food, there's a mechanical bull. Listen to this, human calf roping. Now what would that be? That sounds a little bit kinky to me.
Yeah, it's sort of awesome.
I'm not sure though. If Jay got a rope and how they throw those calves to the ground.
Lassos,
if he bound my hands and feet and then threw me to the ground, I'd be like, babe.
Yeah, that seems like a lot. Yeah,
a lot.
Especially if they're doing it by time. He's like, done.
Yeah.
You're
done.
Uncomfortable. You're wiggling like a trailer. Like, what are you doing?
He's like, yes.
Maybe it's you roping him.
Yeah,
that could be better.
Yeah, that would be better.
Yeah, I could see that.
And then Creature Encounters Utah, which is things like spiders and snakes.
Oh, yes. Always fun.
So, super fun, and I think we might be going, right?
Yes, we're going to go for sure. I'm really hoping you guys can come with us, because that would be so much fun.
And we have 2 tickets to that to give away.
You get to have the secret location.
And I will say, if you are thinking this might be fun, but you're like, oh, burlesque, it's not like a strip show. It's not like going to trails.
This is an art form. This is a dance and movement and posturing and an attitude. It's really fun
and super fun day. The audience for these type of shows is really fun, and it's going to be a good time, and we'll probably be there. So again,
cool.
if you want to win tickets to this, just say Voodoo Darlings or Burlesque or whatever, so we know that those are what you want tickets for. So that's super fun.
Wow, how fun. Okay, good. So see, this is giving us amazing weekend already.
Yeah, and then if you want to just do something free, Thanksgiving Point Scarecrow Festival.
Now, Richard went down and shot some footages the other day, and I had never seen it before. It looks really elaborate. I was surprised.
And I hadn't heard of this either. And I guess it's a week-long festival, I believe, and it starts today. And it's included with Thanksgiving Point admission, or if you're a member, it's free. And I guess this is cool because members of the community make scarecrows. So next time,
fun.
I think we need to make a scarecrow. Should we make like a Todd scarecrow?
A vision between you and me, we could come up with something really good. Really good.
So,
I know, right?
So I think it's in Ashton Gardens at Thanksgiving Point. So I think it looks like from this
look how cute.
Oh my gosh.
It's a bloody horse farmer. It's not even awesome enough that it's a horse. It's a bloody horse farmer.
That's awesome.
That was really creative. And I am Groot, of course.
And while the weather's still good,
exactly.
I think it's staying at like 60 for the next week or so. So while the weather's still good, go down there. You can walk around. There's a really nice restaurant down in Thanksgiving Point. Make a day out of it.
I know. What a cool day.
Yeah. So, and I guess the festival includes games, crafts, music, food.
They always do a lot of stuff for kids.
Yeah.
So it's always something that's really entertaining. Very fun.
Yeah.
This is going to be a cool weekend.
It's going to be a cool weekend, and then we're ramping up to Halloween. So
next weekend is going to be epic.
Oh my gosh. And we've got some Halloween scary movies out right now as well, haven't we?
All right, number 1, of course, is The Snowman. I was up on this instantly because it stars Michael Fassbender, so really there's really no other... I would go see a documentary about bees mating if it included Michael Fassbender, but this is super, super scary. Take a look.
We're looking into disappearances, some recent, others dating back several years. disturbing.
Oh, and they had to include fear of heights, so
Oh
that's
my
just getting
gosh.
better and better.
So Erin and I are literally sitting here holding hands and screaming
like-
when we were watching this. This actually looks good,
Right?
doesn't it?
I know.
And
looking
really scary.
If you want the creepy psychological underpinnings where you're weirded out all the way home, this is the one.
Now I forget, are you the one that likes psychological horror or are you the one that likes gory horror?
I like things that blow up. Todd likes to see character progression and complex, interhuman dynamics. I'm like, are you gonna blow it up? Because that'd be great. Yeah, I have the cultural sensibilities of a frat boy. It's I know it's not good, but
Would you see that though?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
Once again, Michael Fassbender. We have our priorities. Okay.
Enough said.
I also have to include this because it's Tyler Perry and his Medea movies. I think he must be on episode 16,927. But it's his Boo movie. It's out and it's going to be #1 at the box office. So take a look.
Damn. Girl, that breath smell like it's been in the Civil War. Anytime somebody got breath like that, honey, that bad, something's going on inside.
That's gonna make me throw up.
You know, these are really interesting. I was just saying to Erin, I don't really understand the parameters of these movies. I've never seen one.
Not one of those kids looks like they're in high school. They all look like they're 27. All of those kids. And then there's Tyler Perry who wears wigs. So
And he plays like every character?
it's #1 every time he puts one out. It's #1 at the box office. So he's hugely, hugely successful. So there you go. And once again, none of them look like they're in high school.
And you know what I'm going to see this weekend, which is a little hidden gem that I've been waiting for. So back in the day, my favorite movie was Backdraft. Do you remember that with Billy Baldwin?
Yeah.
So there is a firefighter movie coming out this weekend called Only the Brave. And it's got all the cool boys in. I think Josh Brolin's in it. And maybe like Jeff Bridges or someone like that.
It sounds like
Miles
it.
Teller.
And then where's the set?
I think it's based on a real firefighting incident, but I'm not sure what one.
You know, that's interesting. This is really timely right now, too. I mean, it gives you enormous sympathy for what all the firefighters, including our Utah guys, are doing down in California right now.
And I'm so excited. That comes out tomorrow. So I think I'm going to take myself to see that. Probably by myself, because Jay's in rehearsal right now for a show. And so I'm a little bit kind of like flying solo right now. But that's okay, right?
I would have gone with you because there's a possibility of explosions, but it also sounds like it has character development. So maybe I'll send Todd with you.
Yeah, that'd be fine. I think it would have character development.
I know. You and Todd can have a movie date. I'm okay with that.
I actually really like going to movies on my own, though. I mean,
It is
it's
fun,
one of
isn't
the
it?
things that I quite like, just going and, you know, being in my own kind of head for a little bit.
Well, you know, when you get press credentials to do review movies anyway, and you're seeing them like 3 weeks in advance and you're on embargo and you can't talk about them, you go see them by yourself anyway. And the only other people you can talk to about them are the other snotty movie critics who are all bitter in it. So it's like, if you get excited, then they think you're a child. And so it's not like you can talk to anyone anyway. So you're right. I'm used to seeing movies by myself and never mentioning it. So I'm with you. I get it.
Yeah, so I'll see that. And maybe the snowman. I mean, that actually looks quite cool.
Once again,
and
Michael Fassbender. Thank you.
The answer to any question you want to ask is Michael Fassbender.
And if he's not the answer, then it's always Tom Hiddleston.
Tom. Oh
Every
yeah,
time.
can't see the appeal
Every
there,
time.
but that's a
I
different
don't get that about
discussion
you.
for another day.
We're going to work with you on Tom Hiddleston. He is the internet boyfriend. I don't understand how you cannot love him. And he's out with Thor Ragnarok and Loki.
No.
Maybe it's the lighting. Maybe we just need to work. I don't know. All right. So once again, we have got the Way Fun passes down to the Leo for Spectacular.
Yeah.
Family 4-packs. If you want to enter for that, just make sure you mention it on Facebook, on any one of our pages, and just like, comment, and share. And then Daisy's got those for you. And then, of course, the burlesque show. So you want to mention Voodoo Darling specifically for that.
And we'll pick those by noon today, so you can make your plans to go out and know you're going. And the Voodoo show, by the way, although they haven't announced the exact venue, it is going to be downtown. Just so you know where it's going to be.
This is going to be so epic. Right? I know. Okay, coming up next, Todd has a visitor. He's somebody you know, and they're probably going to get in trouble with their conversations. They always get scared when you and I start talking. Those two are much worse.
Okay.
Much worse.
So
up
my
next.
national news will be in about an hour.
Pretty much, yes. It's coming right up. The Todd and Aaron Morning Stream is brought to you by Utah Credit Approval. Bad things happen to good people, but repair your credit and find the car you want at Utah Credit Approval. Just call 801-404-7201. Also by Columbus Travel. Sign up for their weekly newsletter today for some screamingly good last-minute travel deals. You can do that at columbusvacations.com. And also by All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. This is the perfect time to check out your heating system and make sure that you're ready for the cold winter months ahead. Go to allutahplumbing.com and don't forget 24-hour service.
So Jeff, you do mortgages, right?
I do.
How do you do?
Well, you go to our website, 4minutemortgage.com, fill out the application. We'll call you within 1 business day. The whole thing takes about a month, start to finish.
We went to the bank
They got really personal.
and went through all of our personal records and all of our finances.
And then there was that little deal about the $8,000 closing costs.
Took like 4 months.
That's funny. That's funny.
Good. Hey, welcome back. Guess what? Aaron looks like John from
How's
All
it
Utah-
going?
Utah
How's it
Plumbing.
going?
How are you? You look great. You look great.
Wonderful.
You know, every once in a while we have you in the studio, find
Yep.
out what's going on. You and I have been hanging out. We do the little spots that we run. Oh, wait, you want to say
we
hi?
keep doing. Yeah, I want to give a shout out to my mother-in-law. Hi,
What's her-
Kathy.
what's her?
She watches all the time.
Does she? And so,
she
she's
likes
still in therapy because of that.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Hi,
we're,
Kathy.
We're,
How
we're
are
getting you out soon. Don't worry.
Keep working on the arts and crafts. So this time of year, let me guess. Oh, furnaces.
There you go.
Really?
Yeah, and we keep going over it and over it. I mean, because it's that important.
Right, right. And the first question is, what do I do with my air conditioner? Do I need to do anything to it?
No, not really. You can give it a quick rinse over,
Right.
You know, just to shut it down
My
because you're gonna undo the hose after that because you don't want to leave it on.
The
we're
one
gonna
go-
do we're
to
gonna
your
do
house.
another show on that.
The one going to your house, right?
So you don't
Okay.
really need. Some people put a cover over it.
Right.
That's so, but definitely never allow it to be turned on with that cover on that.
'Cause you'll
That could
toast
hurt
it. You'll
So,
toast
but they're built not to even need to be covered.
Okay. So let's talk about furnaces for a second here.
Yes.
What is the most common thing? Is there a common thing that you get a call and you go in, you do your tests and stuff?
Right now,
Right.
the most common thing that's going on has to do with maintenance. So it's sat all winter,
Right,
or
right.
winter,
Yeah.
summer,
Right.
at any rate, and it hasn't been running.
Right.
And then you go to fire it up, and dust has settled in and whatnot. And
Right.
a lot of the newer furnaces, and actually, some of them are old.
Right.
In the world of furnaces. At any rate, they have what they call a flame sensor. It's a little rod, and the flames will turn on and come across, and those flames hit.
Thermocouple?
No, not a thermocouple.
Is it
That's
similar?
old news. It's just a flame sensor.
Okay, all right, there you
Kind
go.
of similar, and
Right.
so that needs cleaned. Well, we do that, and but that we get called. It's coming on, and then it just
Right.
shuts off. I don't know what's going on, and then we come out and we're like, oh, you just need a simple service.
You've been there enough. You've
Yeah.
done this a lot.
Right. Which is, what we're here today.
Right.
Again, it's only $69. We'll come out, we'll service that thing up, we get the back rack on it, the computer, fully check it out. We're wanting to clean it, but we also want to safety check it. Make sure it's safe, for your family.
It's interesting because we're renting right now, and so I was looking around at the smoke detectors, right?
Yeah.
And the smoke detectors were dead. And so I was thinking, get the smoke detectors. And then all of a sudden I thought, well, if I'm going to make sure the smoke detectors work, I need to make sure that the furnace is working,
Right.
so that CO2 doesn't come into the house and make everybody dead.
All those things. Actually, in 2 weeks, we're going to have a show that it's the final eyes of fall. Like we're let's get that home ready for winter.
Right.
We're going to have that list. Smoke alarms
Right.
are part of it. CO alarms. A lot of
Right.
times those are combined and
Right.
whatnot. But go through. You got
Change
batteries. All those things. Change your filters. Change your filters.
Change your filters.
in your furnace.
I did not know this. Every 30 days, if you get the little thin ones, 30 days.
Yeah.
Every 30 days. Otherwise, your fan's working too hard. You're not getting airflow.
It's good for the air in your home, too. I
This
mean,
is true.
come on. So, yeah.
How much again?
It's $69. We'll come out and do all that. Also, we're offering a free second opinion. If someone
This is a great
tells
idea.
you,
This is a great idea.
Someone's telling you, hey, you need a new furnace and whatnot, and you may. Well, we'll come out, give a second opinion. We'll use our back rack as needed in our visual and everything.
And you got all the tools. He's got all the fancy stuff, yeah.
Make sure, yep, this is true. You need a new one, and we'll give you a price and what we have to offer, like our 10-year parts and labor. Our normal repairs, we've talked about this.
Right.
2-year on fixing a faucet or something.
It's
So
second
just give us
opinions
a call.
for doctors. Good. My car, $1,200. Took it to my other guy. Oil change.
There you go.
Oil change.
Yeah.
Saved me $1,200 anyway. Aaron, why don't you come in? Sometimes she gets talking
She's
to
gonna come
Daisy. Yeah, we're gonna talk. We want to talk about the happy place. No, she's over talking to Daisy. That's
All right, how do you kids do?
We're doing good. I'll move over and everything.
Thank you, you're beautiful, John.
Well, thank you.
Did you two guys get in trouble again?
Yeah. No,
we kept it good this
we were
time.
pretty straightforward, and
This
we
time.
said, tell her who we said hello to, though.
Yeah, I said hello to my mother-in-law, Kathy. She actually
Sandwiches.
got the
Hi, Kathy.
Christopher's
Oh, she won the
Steakhouse thing.
Christopher's.
Oh, you're kidding?
Yeah, she was all, woohoo.
Oh, that's so fun.
And
Wait,
she didn't
she's the one
invite
who
us.
can't come in town, right?
Right,
And so
she's
you
in
guys are
North
getting it?
Carolina. So she's like, I'm going to give you this to you guys. And we're like, all right, I'll go eat some steak. All right.
Isn't she the sweetest lady?
You haven't
so
noticed
funny.
I have a little belly. Got to keep it up.
You know what? I'm great.
It's a lot of maintenance.
That's a pretty nice mother-in-law. She's treating you.
Yeah,
to
she's
Christopher's,
way
right?
awesome. Yeah,
That's
she's
so
she.
cool.
When we first were together, it was she was a big helping hand, and then
Did you kind of suck up to her a lot, like, oh, Kathy?
not really actually.
Because Todd totally sucked up to my mom.
I'm gonna
It's
scoot you
awesome.
forward just a little bit.
I don't want to scoot forward.
So,
Okay, you have to.
I'm
how
feeling
long
smashed
have you
up.
two been married now?
So we're doing our 10th year anniversary coming up. So we're excited about that. Going to go to California. Of course, it's burning down, but
What's left?
we're going to go to this
Ideally.
part.
Right.
It's not currently on fire.
No,
yeah.
we just love San Diego, so we're going to go down there. But yeah, I didn't have to suck up to finish. She is whatever. Took a little longer to get to know her dad, but that's dad.
Well, he's dad.
Yeah, exactly.
It's dad.
And you're you.
And then I mean, exactly. They're like, this son of a gun.
I want to talk. Aaron, you got the story on Happiest Place.
Oh, yeah, the happiest places in...
Yeah.
Oh, happiest cities in America.
Yeah, I want to have John participate in this.
Right. In America?
So where have you been? Where were you born?
We know it's San Diego.
Okay, so right outside Washington, D.C.
D.C. Okay.
Then it was Ohio, Columbus, and then it was Florida, Jacksonville.
Okay.
Then here, and then of course I moved to California too. As a teenager, you think
Right.
that I can conquer the world.
Right.
And
Then
you
you-
epically
then-
fail.
then
of
you
course.
So besides Utah, which is your favorite?
You know what? California, all the
Really?
way.
California.
Yeah, because I went to Florida once on a seminar, and it was like early June. So I can't remember. It was horrible. Horrible. How do you people live down there? I mean, walk off the plane. You're like, oh,
Hot.
bad. Okay, now I can't breathe. It was horrible. I hated it.
All right.
Anyway.
You're in good company, though, because out of the top 50 cities, I mean, the vast majority of them do tend to be down there. Number 17 of the happiest cities is San Francisco. Number 5 was San Luis Obispo. Santa Clara was in there. So was Oxnard, Thousand Oaks, and Ventura. San Diego and Carlsbad is number 23 of the happiest
So
cities. You guys are going to a happy city.
I'm happy.
Now, the only thing I hate about, dislike strongly, about these studies is, did you really go to these cities? Did you really spend any time? Were you hanging out with the right people? Did you eat the right food? Or did you hanging out at the bus station?
Well, no, they use scientific indicators. I mean, like quality of life and like safety, how much money you make, and then they use a lot of other different markers and indicators. To
All right,
decide.
so where are we? Where does
Salt Lake City's not even on the top 50.
Oh, wow.
Screw you.
The only
No kidding.
Is that why?
That's the mature response we all look for.
No, that's
Jim.
okay. We understand.
Yeah.
Like he said, you didn't actually check it out.
Right.
No.
If you did, it would be better. I know, right? Number 7, Provo, Utah. Third largest city in Utah. This is what they say. Provo sits between Utah Lake and the Wasatch Range,
Right.
making for an intoxicating blend of city culture and outdoor recreation, with fishing, hiking, and rafting all a stone's throw away.
I could
Look,
appreciate that.
This is a happy, clean-cut family. Look at that. That
Would
is
you
a
read
happy
that
freaking family.
read that description again for me?
Third largest city in Utah. Provo sits between Utah Lake and
Stop there. Utah Lake, deadly plankton this summer. Hello. Don't mean to tear you down.
Toxic
but
sludge.
Toxic sludge. Radioactive carp.
Yes, they do call it Happy Valley.
This is true.
Well, I guess my only confusion though is that you do know that Provo has the second highest use of antidepressants in the country, right?
Maybe that's why.
That's why they're the
They're
happiest.
so.
They're like,
They're so.
It's proving it's working
They're
for them.
so anti-depressed that they're happy.
Yes, I've heard some things from some officers as well, but you know what? I go down there. We service that area,
Right.
And they're happy.
And they're happy.
Right? You can fix their problem and they're happy. So see, you're part of the solution here, John.
And I'm just serving up plumbing. I mean,
Hey, don't
Anyway.
underestimate the value of a nice flushing
true.
toilet.
That's
I
right.
can tell you as a wife, that's a happy thing.
exactly. We are going to add on another couple shows from now. We're actually what you guys were talking about today, the trades. I have a lot of input.
Trade
in
schools and stuff like that for kids.
A lot of input. We are
that'd be
actually
cool.
my internet guy. We're actually putting together where we can do a scholarship. It's kind of funny that guy's doing. So a plumber's done it. I just heard of that just this morning.
Right.
And then
And you guys are working on it already.
You guys are
we're
doing that.
trying to figure out how to do that. It's all on baby infantry, or infancy anyway.
Right.
So but
That's wonderful.
the trades are short, on people.
Right.
Men and women.
Right.
It become a plumber, women. I've said it forever.
I would totally
You get
request you if you were a female
somewhat
plumber.
attractive female, whatnot, and she goes in to sell a remodel. It's done because she has the taste. I have to sit there and go, well, that kind of looks good. No, actually, a sword in my shower is not going to work, John.
They
But
start
anyway, that's
handing you
another
the
show.
swatches and you start sweating like I don't do swatches.
Right. I mean, I'm pretty good, but our ladies in our life usually are like, you know what, that's going to look good there. Da, da, da.
They know better.
Although he is being modest, but you should check out the video of John when he remodeled this bathroom with the original tile, and it's absolutely exquisite. And he remodeled the shower to make it work for a child with sensory issues, and it was
That's
beautiful.
very cool.
So you do have taste.
All right.
You do.
All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air, $69. So check it out. Plus a second opinion. Let's get some national news with Daisy.
Okay, we should go to Daisy then. She's in the Gephardt Daily Newsroom. She is brought to you by Fink and McGregor Mortgages Made Simple. If you go to fink-mcgregor.com, you can find out some amazing deals. For a credit score as low as 600, you can get a mortgage. Also, the Vein Clinic. There's a myriad of different ways to get rid of your spider veins and those really gross, unattractive varicose veins, but you will not know which one is perfect for you until you get a consultation. Go to theveinclinic.com for more information. Also, by our dear friend John at All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. 24-hour service, and of course the $69 special. You can go to allutahplumbing.com to reach them. Daisy, my dear, what is going on?
Good morning, Todner, and hello again, everyone. Here's a look at national and world news for Thursday, October 19th on GephartDaily.com. Leading members of Congress, including Senator John McCain, say they need to find out what happened in Niger when 4 U.S. Green Berets were killed and 2 others wounded in an ambush by Islamic insurgents. Several U.S. officials described the incident as a surprise firefight between 12 U.S. soldiers and members of a self-radicalized group affiliated with the Islamic State. At least 4 U.S. senators are pressing the White House to reveal the exact nature of the U.S. mission in Niger. The Trump administration remains mum. As Northern California continues to deal with some of the worst wildfires in the state's history, vineyards in the region's famous wine country are slowly beginning to reopen, at least the ones that weren't destroyed. The majority of the annual grape harvest in Napa, Mendocino, and Sonoma counties occurred prior to the wildfires. Some grapes, though, still need to be picked. Several wineries have reported varying damage to buildings, tasting rooms, and vines, but many vineyards say the grapes have yet to be harvested appear to be in good shape. Experts fear the wildfires could cause long-lasting effects for Northern California wineries, which are estimated to contribute nearly $60 billion to California's economy each year. And a Canadian man has filed a lawsuit against Sunwing Airlines because they promised champagne but only served sparkling wine. Daniel McDuff booked a flight from Montreal to Havana aboard Sunwing, which advertised champagne service on board. But instead of a flute filled with bubbly from the Champagne region of France, McDuff got a cup of carbonated wine. McDuff's attorney, Sebastien Paquette, said the airline used deceptive advertising to lure customers into buying their tickets and called it a dishonest practice. Sunwing, however, says the terms champagne vacations and champagne service are not meant to be a literal description of their in-flight beverages, but to denote a level of service in reference to the entire hospitality package. That's it for now. For more headlines from across the country and around the world, go to GetApartDaily.com. And for now, Todd and Aaron, back to you.
Thank you, my dear Daisy. Okay, this is such an epic story to me because it shows the infamous power of Facebook.
Okay, Facebook. Now, we talked about Mike Rowe doing his own show.
Launching his own shows.
And it's only on Facebook.
Yeah.
The Todd and Aaron Morning Stream.
Oh, by the way, we were corrected. It's called Returning the Favor.
Oh, Returning the Favor. There you go. It's a good show. So this is really interesting. So Facebook, police departments are on Facebook. In Michigan, a man was wanted for probation violation. So he started taunting the police department on their Facebook page.
Oh, that's never a good idea. That's not a
So
good idea.
what he ended up doing is he made a bet with them. This is a 21-year-old. And he said, okay, so listen, if I get more than 1,000 likes, I will turn myself in.
You've got to be kidding me.
Because they know who he is. You know, it's not a huge town.
And it was actually even harder than that because he said, if your next post gets 1,000 shares, I will turn myself in. And then to sweeten, he says, I'll even bring donuts with me.
And so they're like, oh, yeah, whatever. And then all of a sudden they started playing and people started doing
Oh, I would totally go on and share that just on principle. Are you kidding me?
So
How'd this work out for him?
they hit about 2,000. And one day, go ahead and show. Here he comes across the parking lot. Yeah.
Eating a donut.
Eating a donut.
Someone's filming him.
What's he got? He's got a bag of donuts.
Oh, that's so funny.
And here he is turning himself in.
That is hysterical.
And I'm here for you.
Like, there you go. The officer in front of him is unamused.
Look, well, not really, but look on the counter.
The donuts are there.
The donuts are there.
You know, I actually have hope for this man's eventual rehabilitation
I do
because
too.
at least he did what he said he was going to do.
Right.
And you know, they're all going, oh, that's great. You turned yourself in. You brought the donuts though, right?
Yeah.
You brought them?
Right.
Or at least maybe that's what I would be.
39 days. 39 days. He pled guilty to the terms of his probation and breaking the rules. So they gave him 39 days.
I can't help but think they were a little bit nicer to him, though.
He turned himself in with donuts.
You have to, you know, he's a man who stood by his word.
Right?
And plus, they have a much bigger Facebook presence now, so everybody's happy.
Not sure they count on that very much.
Do you think we could maybe we could do that with the morning stream somehow? Todd will commit a felony, and then we'll hide him.
Another
and
one?
Then, yeah, one's enough. Never mind.
Whoops. Did I say that?
All right, coming up next.
Utah Eagle Scout. Eagle Scouts back in the news? What?
And for your love of snacks and your wish to never leave the home, Google is here for you.
It's a dream come true, and
They're
it's coming up
here for you.
next.
The Todd and Aaron Morning Stream is brought to you by Fink and McGregor. Go to fink-mcgregor.com for mortgages made simple. Because they're a broker, they have a number of different options they can offer you. Just go through a 4-minute questionnaire and someone will call you back by the next business day and get you on your way. It's fink-mcgregor.com. Also by Utah Credit Approval. Utah Credit Approval knows that there's sometimes the bad things happen to good people and that credit may be hard to repair. But you can apply today and drive away today with Utah Credit Approval. Just call 801-404-7201. And also by All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Go to allutahplumbing.com to schedule a check to make sure that you're ready for winter. And don't forget, they have 24-hour emergency service at allutahplumbing.com.
All right, Boy Scouts being prepared. All right, I'm trying to remember the oath. So
you were-
it's gone. It's good.
It's been a while. Now, you were 14 when you were an Eagle Scout, right?
Yeah, but I cheated.
With palms.
I cheated.
How could you cheat?
I cheated.
You don't cheat to be an Eagle Scout.
I did. I feel like I cheated.
No, you didn't.
In New Hampshire, there's Boy Scout camp, summer camp, and it's called Parker Mountain. And for 2 years, my dad was the director. And so, actually, a really cool part of my childhood, I hung out alone a lot, until my troop, it was their turn to come up, and then I went with them. But otherwise, my mom and I had a cabin on a private lake with the proverbial girls' camp across the way. It's like the beginning of a Disney film.
It really is.
Or a porn. And I had my own canoe, and I had no life vest. It makes me wonder about my mom.
A little bit, yeah. And the fact that you
Yeah.
were given easy access to pocket knives. I'm mildly concerned. The hatchets, yeah.
And it was 2 great summers. Well, within a quarter mile, there was an archery range. And then with another quarter mile, there was a rifle range. And all these different things. And then swimming and stuff. And so I could go down and get my...
I don't see how that's cheating, though. That was just putting your time to good use.
So anyway...
And anyway, so an
Anyway.
Eagle Scout, it's a lot to get to that level, and I'm very proud of you. I think that's very cool. But Caden Erskine's 17, and he's working on his Eagle Scout designation. And he saw a social media post about the wildfires, and we've all been watching
California.
it. And we have friends there, and everybody's calling their friends as it circled around, are you okay? But he thought, what could I do? He's from Saratoga Springs. He goes, what would be like the biggest impact thing I could do to help? He's not a firefighter. He can't send $1 million in money.
No way to transport like huge things of water.
But he came across a friend's Facebook post asking for donations in the Napa Valley area. She said she was heading to see family there, and that filter masks, face masks, would be a huge thing because even if your particular house isn't on fire right then,
Smoke inhalation.
insane smoke inhalation and the ash and all the problems.
And you've seen our valley, the worst it is during the winter with an inversion times
27, 9,011.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And so I went, we could do that. And so we were like, it'd be cool. He says, maybe we could get like 1,000 masks. So he started talking to all of his neighbors, and they spread the word in schools and stuff. He went to all of the local hardware stores, which I think is brave. I have a hard time asking for things. I'm always happy about raising money for other people or like giving things, but I have asking for stuff kills me every time. But he hit every single one up just doggedly and said, could you help us? Could you give me the masks? This is what it's for. And this is important. They ended up with 4,000 masks. Wow. And so he showed up when his neighbor, Heather, was about to drive down to Napa with her little minivan. And they packed the minivan. He goes, I don't think you're going to have enough room. So they had to rent this little trailer to put the rest of the masks in. So
and they got them down to the right people, and they distributed them.
Isn't that amazing? So the Anderson family had driven around the area. They delivered them to hospitals and care homes and residents, for the higher, most impacted people. And she said, it was amazing. She said, it was good for my sons, too, to see everybody stepping up and helping each other. And so just what a clever guy.
And you're right, because that'd be something that people might overlook.
I only wish he could have gone down with them because I would like him to have seen his hard work. But he said it was okay that I wasn't there. He said, I was just happy that they were getting what they needed.
That's fun.
For a 17-year-old.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty good.
But you have something even cooler.
Oh, my friends.
You have something so cool. So cool.
I take you to Australia.
Where all the fun things happen.
And all the bugs are trying to kill you.
Yeah, but they're good
Canterbury,
Mm-hmm.
big city. And what they decided to do was get together with Google. Now, when Google does something, they usually do something pretty cool.
I mean, we've talked about the gigantic Google, headquarters that they're trying to set up a second one, and how we're all like, we could have it. I mean, because when they do something, they're the biggest thing in the entire world.
So basically, they picked a town that was away from the capital. And it was a 40-minute round trip because there was nothing in between. And so it would take, if you wanted some milk, you would have to drive 40 minutes, 20 there, 20 back.
You would have to bring water with you to go and get the milk, yeah.
It just seemed like a long way. And so basically what they did is Google got together with a company called Alphabet's Project Wing.
Alphabet is actually the parent company of Google.
Yeah. And
the research wing.
They have drones. And they have a Mexican restaurant. Which means they have...
Burritos on demand. Burritos on demand.
And you know what's nice about this is if a burrito falls 20 feet and hits the ground, it's still a burrito. It's not like a pizza.
Not like it's changed.
It still looks the same. It's a burrito, maybe a little flatter, but it's still a burrito. So what they do is they've done this before in remote locations, field to field. But now they're actually doing it. There's a landing pad at the Mexican restaurant, and then the drones are there. They get the phone call or the online order.
And you can get your sopapillas and your enchiladas on demand by whim. I mean, bring me the sopapillas. They come to you.
They go out, they put the bag, and they hang it on the drone. The drone is then sent automatically.
That's so great.
They push a button. It flies to your house and lands in your backyard in a designated landing area with no dogs. That would be bad.
That would be important.
It lands. It then releases.
The bag's awesome.
Takes off and goes back for more Mexican food.
I can't even imagine a world so beautiful that enchiladas were available to me at any time I wished. And that I could stay in my home and the enchiladas would be brought to me.
I've tried cup of coffee too. You can get a cup of coffee.
They're actually doing medication too, which is a really good one.
Interesting.
Because especially for a lot of older people or people who are health is impacted and maybe are more housebound.
Right.
That's a great thing.
And they have a designated place for them to land, which has some markings on it that the drone can see and land. And what? That's crazy.
The medication is nice, but let's go back to the burritos.
Burritos are good.
The burritos on demand available to you.
I just think there's two guys in Salt Lake and they're buddies and they both have drones, and what they'll do is they'll take beers to each other.
I would just like to be on the street and watching a 6-pack of beer fly over me, going, "Well, that's different."
And they'll say, "Where are you?" He goes, "Backyard." And say, "Okay," and they manually fly it, and then they look down and
an arm reaches out from the lawn chair.
Which is actually kind of a cool thing. All right,
drones are awesome.
So, what have we learned today? We have learned that there are good people in this world, and we've learned that there are horrible people in this world. We've also learned that there's more nice people than horrible people.
We've also learned that there's a bunch of free weekend activities, like once again, Spooky Science, the family activities down at the Leonardo. We have 2 4-packs. So just make sure you mention this on Facebook. Leave us a comment on the show today if you would like to win those. Stacey's going to pick by noon. And then also the Voodoo Dolls, the burlesque show tomorrow night that Todd and I are going to. We also have a pair of tickets. And get this, I don't know if you heard this when we were talking.
What?
It's Ghouls, 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 which I died laughing because it's,
Right.
Nobody knows the location yet. It's a secret location for the burlesque show. We do not know until we purchase our tickets.
Oh, that's cool.
Right?
And we also learned that burritos fly. You guys have a great day. It's the Todd and Aaron Morning Stream on GetPartDaily.com. Flying burritos.
I know.